Hello, welcome to my channel, Diane in Stitches. I'm Diane. Thank you for joining me. Thank you again also for comments and likes on my previous videos, and thank you again especially to subscribers. If you wish to subscribe, it doesn't cost you anything and you will get notifications when I release a new video. So thank you again for that. I'll just explain what I'm wearing today, first of all, as well. This is the Ellie & Mac Going Home sweater, raglan sleeve. I've done 2 or 3 of these I put a waistband along the bottom. This one is just a straight tunic length. Fabric is a cotton lycra, which I ordered. I must have made this about 3 years ago. Fabric is from a company called UK Stretch Fabrics. I haven't ordered anything from them for a while actually, but it's quite a nice quality cotton lycra. But when I first did this top, I put a cowl neck on, and it was up here. And because it's quite a sturdy cotton lycra, it didn't drape very nicely. So I chopped it in half and still didn't like it. So I took it off completely and just I'd got some spare blue, so I just made a neckband. But what happened was I was having trouble with my sewing machine at the time, and the stitches weren't connecting in the middle. At the bottom, the underneath was literally just a straight fibre, thread, and you could literally just pull it out. And I took it into a place, and this chap kept insisting there's nothing wrong, and he sewed with it. And I mentioned about the thread, and he said, "Oh, you're expecting perfection." This was a sewing machine repair and service place, and I thought, this is not right. So I've just brought it home. I did some research, and it was a cleaning issue, apparently. And I'd cleaned the bobbin case out. That was fine. Clean it as far as I can. And I decided I needed to just get everything off and get to the back plate. And I took that off, and it was bad with the fluff in between the feed dogs. So I cleaned it all out, and it was absolutely fine after that. But in the meantime, when I'd altered this top, this neck, I'd just bought my I'd not long since had my cover stitch machine. So I decided to do a little bit of an experimentation. I'd got some rainbow thread, and I thought, well, that will match the this bit of fabric. So I did the cover stitch. It's only a normal cover stitch. You can get top cover stitch machines that do this on the top and the bottom. But if you've got an ordinary cover stitch machine, you can do a fake top cover stitch by just putting it through with the wrong side up, facing up. And so your looper thread then shows on the right side instead of the wrong side. So I just decided to take this stitching out that wasn't right anyway from the sewing machine problem, and redid it on the cover stitch. And I did that along the bottom as well. Sorry for flashing my belly there. And I wear it now. I mean, this neck was absolutely horrendous. It just stuck out and just was there. It was just horrible. Anyway, so that's what I'm wearing. So this week, I've had a week. So I finished off Keith's cardigan, not without some issues, it has to be said. I got the waistband on, but where the bulk was, I've had issues with the overlocker in the past with slight skip stitches. And when I'd looked at when I've got it out of the overlocker, there were so many skip stitches on the front bit where the pocket, because it added it was 4 layers, because the pocket comes right down to the bottom of the cardigan, and then you've got the 2 layers of the waistband. So you've got 4 layers. And there was all these skip stitches. So I thought maybe it needs a bigger needle. So I put a bigger needle in, and it was better. And I finished it off, and I got that done. There was still the odd 1 or 2, but it wasn't going to, the seam was going to be okay because the right needle was still okay. So I got that done. Then I went on to the buttonholes, and I think it was 5 buttonholes. So I got 3 done, and I was doing the stretch buttonhole, which I think takes up probably a little bit more thread than a normal buttonhole. Not that I needed to do the stretch buttonhole, I don't think, because the thing wasn't stretching anyway. It didn't need to stretch, because I've got interfacing in there anyway. And I got to the needing 2 buttonholes to go, and I thought, I'm just going to check the bobbin. And sure enough, I'd got 6 inches of thread left on the bobbin. So I had to rethread all of them, like you do. So rethread the bobbin again, start again. So I got that done. So that's all done. I'll put a picture up. He's modelled it, but just as a picture, I'll just put a picture up of him in it. And it's okay. It's a little bit, because I said he got weird size. It should be a small top, large middle, and medium hip. But I just did a straight large. It's a little bit roomy around the top, but it's only for well, he does wear his other one. He does go out in it, but it's mainly around the house, so it's not a problem. So anyway, I got that done. So then I thought, right, I'll move on to. I decided on my next project, which was the cardigan, the grab a cuppa cardigan from Pattern Emporium, using the black ribbing that I showed you, which was from Bornella Fabrics. This lovely. Can't forget that. You see the ribs there, but it's really lovely and soft. And I needed to wash it, so I washed it, and it said don't tumble dry. So I had to hang it on the landing on an area for 2 days, trying to not let it stretch out and everything. It did, and it shrank a bit. I've lost, I think, from the 2 meters, I've lost 10 centimeters from the length with the shrinkage, because it is viscose. It's mostly viscose. It's 91% viscose and 9% elastane. I've got the thing out, but I've not got much left, actually. So I did manage to get the cardigan. It's a long cardigan, sort of mid-thigh length. I did the long length, which according to the pattern says 1.7 meters. So it's about right, probably. So then I got on the overlocker. I left the size 14 needles in, and I got on the overlocker, and it wasn't happening. The missed stitches were just, it was a mess, an absolute mess. And I tried altering things again, and I probably made it worse, and tension, and I took the needles out, checked that they were straight, and I just could not fathom what was going on. Thought it was the fabric that might be a bit too sort of springy, and I don't know. Some fabrics have that effect. So I got another fabric out. I got some of my leftover from the coat, so a woven fabric, and that still wasn't happening. So I thought I'm going to have to get this serviced or looked at in some point. So I rang the chap that did my sewing machine last year, and we took it in yesterday. We'd intended to go to into Sheffield yesterday anyway, and he's at the other side of Sheffield. He has a unit on an industrial business park thing, and he has a little office room thing there. So I arranged to take it up yesterday, dropped it off with him, and then we went into Sheffield to do the bits we needed to do. And so I've just got to wait now to see what the outcome is, whether there's anything wrong with it. He said he thought he felt a burr on the back of the upper looper. I've not knocked it or anything, or done any damage. No needles have gone through. There's nothing, as far as I can recall, that sort of could have caused any problems, really. So we'll just have to wait and see what comes of that. So off we went into Sheffield. Then we actually ended up going to Meadowhall, which I hate. But what we were looking for was a suitcase, new suitcases. We do have some suitcases, but one of the smaller ones, we've got a big one and a little one, matching set, like a carry-on and a check-in. And it's got like this sliding catch on the front, and we were going somewhere last year. We're just using the smaller suitcases, just overnight stay, and Keith couldn't get into it. It was the thing was there's a combination lock that you have to do, but he'd got the right number and he couldn't, and so this thing was sticking, and we had to literally break the lock to get into this suitcase. So he had to take another bag in the end. But the reason we want a new one now is because the bigger ones have got this same catch on, but we've booked a holiday in May. We're going to Cyprus for 2 weeks. So we didn't want to they were about, well, I think we bought those suitcases before we moved to Cyprus in 2014. So I don't know what's gone wrong with it. It's been working okay, but we kept checking the other ones and thinking, well, if we get there and then we can't get in the suitcase, so we'll get new suitcases. That's by the by anyway. So off we went to Sheffield. We didn't see really what we wanted there. So we went to Meadowhall and got some from Marks and Spencer's. But anyway, so that's us. So we're going to Cyprus in the beginning of May. So my next thought was, I'm going to have to make this cardigan now on the sewing machine. And so my next thought was, what can I make after that? If the guy's still got my sewing machine, my overlocker, I'll need to probably think of something woven rather than stretch fabric. I have had a practice with the cardigan. It'll do a zigzag stitch okay, so that's no problem. So I've been wondering what to make next. Now, with the holiday in mind, I thought I'd move on to summery things rather than sticking with winter items, cardigans and sweatshirts and things, and try and get ahead of myself with this seasonal thing again. And I'm getting from my stash, and I'm using the stash I've got and the patterns I've got, not buying any new patterns. As I say, I'm trying to smash the stash. So I've been looking, thinking, I'll just make some summery things, because it's going to be in May in Cyprus. It's going to be quite warm. So what I thought of doing is making some summer like shirts or blouses or something, and maybe a couple of pairs of lightweight trousers. And last year to the Black Friday sales, I ordered some fabrics from various places. I mean, the cardigan fabric was one of them, but that's a winter. Well, it's not really winter. It's a thinnish viscose rib, but I don't know how warm it's going to be, but anyway. So from Sherwood's fabrics, which I heard about sometime last year, I was thinking Sherwood's. We live near Sherwood Forest, and I didn't know whether it was in this area or not. So found out anyway, it's Derbyshire, which is still not too far away. And they do a lot of dead stock and remnants, and they've quite long remnants actually. Sometimes they're about 3 meters, it says a remnant. So I saw this 1 or 2 fabrics, and they also own the Lady McElroy name. So I came across this fabric. It's called, let me just get my thing, Life in Venice, and it's Silk Noil, Noil. So there we are, Life in Venice, and it's got sort of little villages and villas and boats and flowers. I don't know whether it's my colour. I've never had my colours done. I don't know if I ever intend to have my colours done. I just wear whatever. I mean, I'm mostly in blues, to be honest. But this is just a little bit different for me, and I don't know. I don't really know if it's me or not, but we'll see when it's made up. I quite like that. And also I ordered for the bottoms, I thought this looks nice. This is it's called a linen mix chambray, and the colour says natural. I don't know if it's sort of like a mottled weave type thing. It's like little flecks of darker grey or something in it, darker colour. But I thought that looked sort of, went together quite well. So that's one possibility. So yeah, I quite like those together. So I think the top might be a Donny shirt. I've got the pattern, never made the Donny yet. So that I'm thinking I might have a go at the Donny shirt. I will make a muslin first because that was $24.99 a metre. I just got 1 metre. It's one of the most expensive fabrics I've bought. The other one was the green wool that I've got that I'd intended originally for the coat. That was around about £26 a metre or something like that. But with that one, I got the lining free and the thread free and free gifts. So, but that's quite. And apparently, this is a silk noir. Is something. It can go in the washer. Apparently, I'm not sure whether I don't know whether to risk that. But anyway, but I quite like that. It'll be a nice summery outfit. I think I'm going to do trousers. The trousers will probably be the Itch to Stitch Upland trousers that I made last year in a blue linen mix. I think that was linen and cotton mix. And that's a nice pattern. I've got other trouser patterns, but they're not been tested yet, so I'm not sure about those. The other fabrics I've got, delve into my summer weight box. I got a few fabrics last year. This one I got from our local boys. This is a viscose. Just got 1 metre of that. So that's I quite liked that. I don't know why I'm going so bright. I don't know. Yeah, it's just brightness. Last year also we went to Birmingham and visited the usual places like the rag market. I didn't get anything in the rag market. And then across the road there's this silk store, and I saw this there and I thought that's quite nice as well. So that's sort of like a bit of an impressionist floral viscose. I think that was £7 a metre, £6.99 something like that. I got 1.5 metres. And then we went round to Barry's. I've just recently heard that Barry's is closing down. We're sort of doing a redevelopment of that area, and they're closing down. I believe there's other shops. I think it's Manchester and somewhere else. But this anyway. So we walked round to Barry's, and that's another viscose, and I've got 1.5 metres of that. So that should make a nice blouse. I think that was £3.95 a metre, that one. So that was nice, quite reasonable. I've got cottons. I've got quite a few. I showed you some before that I bought in Cyprus. Last year, I decided to test out one of the Beyond the Pink Door boxes. It was just a one-off box I bought, and it was last March. Box, so is it 26? And this is it had got this Nerida Hansen cotton poplin in, which I thought was quite nice. But overall, I wasn't impressed with the value of the box somehow. I think I've seen this at £10 or £10.50 a metre. There's 2.5 metres, so £12 worth, 20, my maths is hopeless anyway. Got 2.5, there's 2.5 metres. And there was the drinking cup, travel mug thing in. So, she's obviously paid to have that done, but working it out, I think that one still came from Ireland before, when they moved, but the boxes were still coming from Ireland. So it works out at £40 the box. But £10 a metre, I don't know. Anyway, it's nice fabric. There was a zip in there as well, and the thread, and the tea bag, and then this travel mug thing with a pink lid. But overall, I think I'll just try and do something with one or other. I've got some different another linen or viscose linen mix trouser that I bought from Pound Fabrics. That's got a bit of a stretch in, like a mechanical stretch, stretch woven as they call it, which I've got a pattern. It's the Legato jeans. I think that's Love Notions or Sinclair, can't remember now. That which needs a 20% stretch, and that one did work out at about that. It's got some elastane in it. So yeah, so I think I'm okay for things to do once I've finished my cardigan. I don't know how many I'll get done. I don't know if I'm doing an average of one garment a week or less. I don't know. But anyway, but I've certainly not got on with the cardigan this week, so that's another week gone. So I think that leaves me with, that's where I'm up to really. So I've just got to wait for the old overlocker to be diagnosed and resuscitated. And we'll see how much I get done. So I'm going to, as I say, I'm going to try and do the cardigan on the sewing machine, and it does work with it. I've just done a sort of a really narrow zigzag stitch, and hopefully that'll come out okay. So I'll leave it there for this week, and see where we are next time I see you. So thank you again for watching, and take care, and hope to see you back to my channel as soon as possible. Thank you. Bye.